Hi, I'm John Sarter, and this is my new home. We just finished building it, or we're actually just in the final stages. And what really drew me to this area is the beautiful nature around it. We're on the edge of the Marin County, a new Marin County park called Bucks, and that is bordered by China Camp State Park. And the solar access is great, and I've lived here in this neighborhood before and just really enjoyed it, so I'm back. One of the first things you're going to notice as you come up to my home are the permeable pavers. And what makes them permeable is that they have a larger gap between them than normal pavers that gets filled with kind of a coarse rock instead of sand. The sand they usually use kind of jams up the holes, but the coarse rock allows water to run through the pavers and into the substrate. And underneath the pavers, there's about 17 inches of permeable backfill, which is rock that doesn't have any cement content, that allows that water to filter on through. In case of a heavy rain and there's excess water, we do have surface drains that will carry the water into filtration planters, which are in back of the house. And those help slow the water flow down so it doesn't get down the hillside and into the bay. So all of the concrete in the foundation, I requested high fly ash content as much as they could. And that's a recycled byproduct from, I believe, from coal, actually. And that makes it a lower carbon concrete than your typical concrete. My experience in passive house construction taught me that air sealing for a building is very important. So in this structure, I used this zip system plywood, which is a recycled content OSB board with a coating on it that makes it air and water tight. And then you tape it together at the joints with this black tape that you'll see up on the seams up above in order to make it a very air and watertight barrier. The product also self-seals when you put nails in it, so you shouldn't have any leakage through the nail holes either. The reason there's nothing covering these zip system panels yet is because the Core 10 steel that is going to cover them is on its way here. And what we plan to do is pre-rust that and then seal it so it won't continue rusting. But the great thing about steel is it's a recyclable product, so if we ever decide we want something else, it can be recycled. Welcome inside. So you'll notice as you come in the foyer and the main living area, and also upstairs, we chose bamboo hardwood floors. Bamboo, it's strand woven, so it's actually one of the hardest woods there is, and it's also highly sustainable. I think bamboo is actually a grass, so it grows very quickly. You'll notice the fan up above. This is a 6-foot fan, and by using ceiling fans, it reduces the perceived temperature inside a home by, I think, up to 15 degrees. So it's a great tool to be able to survive in the heat without turning on your AC. So the kitchen is not fully installed yet, but this home is all electric, so all the appliances will be electric. We're going to have a Bosch induction cooktop here. So the fireplace is a fireplace by a company in Canada called an Optimist fireplace. And what it does is it sprays a fine water vapor up that curls exactly like real flames, and then it underlights it from underneath with bright LED lighting. So it looks exactly like real flames, but you can stick your hand in it. And then it has an electric heater that blows out of the top for actual heat when you want heat. So you can have a fire that looks real and not producing heat. So this is a Rheem Platinum Plus Performance hybrid heat pump water heater. And the great thing about having it in the garage is that it actually produces cold air that blows out of this outlet. So it'll help keep the garage cool, and it'll help offset the extra heat that's created by the inverter, the decibel inverter that's also going to be in the garage. So this home is going to have a decibel smart home energy system in it. Decibel is a solar inverter combined with a 2-port EV charging system, and one of those ports is bidirectional. So what that means is you can directly DC charge your vehicle from your solar, and then you can use your vehicle to power your house. The windows in this home are from Alpen, and they're passive house certified, triple glazed, tilt turn windows. So what that means is you turn the handle 90 degrees and the window opens fully for cleaning and maximum ventilation, or you can turn the handle upward and have it tilt back for less ventilation, but security, and also to keep the rain out. So this fan is a big ass fan. It's actually smaller than the big fan in the living room, but that's the company name, Big Ass Fans. And they are some of the nicest fans, I have to say. It's got a setting where you can put it on a, they call it whoosh, where it'll change its speed to simulate a natural breeze. So they're really quite nice, and they can be thermostatically enabled also. So the padding underneath the stairs and the carpet is actually ground up pieces of Posturepedic mattresses, and they call it Sealy Pad. So it's recycled Posturepedic mattresses essentially that gives it a nice springy feel when you walk on it. So this is a Lumen Smart Panel, and it basically sheds the larger loads in your electrical panel when the grid goes down. What that means is, let's say I'm at home working, my wife's cooking, so she's got the oven on, the range on, and the water heater's heating. So if the grid goes down, that's a lot of electrical appliances that would be on at one time. What this will do then is shut some of those devices down that you don't necessarily need. You'll see that we have two electrical panels here, and that's for a couple of reasons. One is that we have more electrical appliances and circuits than one panel could handle. And we're also putting all the loads that the Lumen is going to shut down when the grid goes down into one of these panels. So it'll connect to just one. All the fixtures in the house are EPA certified WaterSense fixtures. They're low flow, but they have a nice output. We've got a rain shower head up here. They're by Growy, these particular ones. And we wanted a luxury shower, but we didn't want to waste a lot of water. So we only have one valve with a diverter switch that will give you either functionality up here or from the rain shower head. So we kind of have a lot going on in a small space here. This is the air handler for the heat pump system, and this basically takes the air and circulates it throughout the home through a ducted system. These right here are on each of 3 separate zones, and it's a damper control that will shut one entire floor off from the heating or cooling operation. And then back here is the heat recovery ventilation system. And this is continually bringing fresh air into the home, because today's airtight homes can build up toxins inside. So this will draw in fresh air continually from the outside and exhaust the air from the outside, and also filter that air as it comes in. These devices can be super helpful also during wildfires if you have a tightly sealed home, because they're filtering out that smoke out of the air. This is the main electrical service for the home. It's where the power comes in. This is the condenser for the heat pump system. And basically this will provide either hot or cold liquid to the air handler, which has a fan coil in it that blows air across the coil, being either hot or cold, and provides either heat or cooling to the home. So you're coming out of the master bedroom onto the roof deck now, and this is where the skylights from the living room are located. This particular skylight we raised up 30 inches so we could put a glass tabletop on it and use it as a table as well. Thank you very much for visiting my home, and I hope I've given you some ideas for your own.